Now let me introduce you to Joe Sitt, a man who is extremely important. He is the CEO of... Just wiping his eyeglasses there. Yeah, you're on, by the way. You're on, okay.
Thanks.
Thor Equities, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, what's this all about? A retail boom?
I really see a Goldilocks moment in our country economically coming if people could see past the rhetoric. First of all, at the highest levels, some of the bumps along the way, the downshift, I would call it, that Trump administration's taking from sixth gear to fifth gear, I think is a positive. I think all the rhetoric against his children's involvement, be it Jared or Ivanka and or Gary Cohen, I think is so wrong. Those guys are more Democrat, candidly, than they even are Republican. And now you've got a balance in the government, at least in the White House. You've got Bannon and Miller on one side. You've got Gary Cohen, Jared, and Ivanka on the other side. And what I see going forward for the administration is them taking a two-pronged approach. Bannon and Miller will handle one sect of the government, and I think that Jared, Ivanka, and Gary will all make an extra approach to the moderate Democrats.
Now, hold on a second. I know you're in full flight here and you want to get to the retail boom. I got that. But hold on. Step back a second. What you're saying is that politics is extremely important for stock prices, and you like the way politics are going because you think that this administration is beginning to move towards the center. Have I summed it up about right?
Better than I could have ever said it, so on the money, and you see it in the words you used earlier. You said Amazon, Microsoft, Google, all hitting all-time highs. And if you think what that means to the economy here in the United States and even globally, it's tremendous because it creates dollars, it creates business and activity. You look at Los Angeles, a city that candidly, while we loved it for the sun, from pure business, I don't think it's been 30, 40 years of any type of economic vitality. Today you go there, you go into the restaurants, you see the business, you see the activity, and so much of that is either from the trickle-down effect from, call it the Bay Area, of all those businesses moving, expanding homes, or you have it coming a little bit from the south. Playa Vista and companies like YouTube and or Snapchat that are based down there that are driving business, and then overlay it with Hollywood. Now you might say, why Hollywood? Well, Hollywood today has been infected by the technology bug. You see companies like Netflix, you see Amazon, you see all the content that's coming out. There's not a week that doesn't go by, I'm sure, that a friend doesn't tell you about a new television
absolutely,
series.
Absolutely.
Did you see Gorilla? Did you see Game of Thrones? Did you see Night Manager? Did you see this? Did you see that? And that's driving business. Today, actors are getting paid more. Film producers are getting paid more.
You're a positive guy. You're laying out a very positive scenario, all kind of good, positive developments. You're looking forward towards a really growing economy?
Myself, yes. I'm not always a positive guy. I think that I was a little bit more bearish. You know, from a real estate investor's perspective, we were way more net sellers 3 years ago than we are today.
You're a real estate guy, primarily?
Yes. We're in all investment classes, but primarily real estate folks globally, be it in Latin America, Mexico, Western Europe, and the United States, investing both for institutions and high net worth. And from my perspective, what's on the horizon, be it the trillion-dollar spending budget that Trump administration is planning to do, or the tax cuts, all very positive, very bullish, and very exciting for business here in the United States of America.
But we've got to get a tax cut deal this year. You're confident we get the deal this year?
I think the best thing that happened to this administration, be it tax cuts or the infrastructure spending, was the failure that happened to health care on Friday.
The best thing?
The best thing.
Spell it out. What do you mean?
I'll tell you why. Sometimes, myself, yourself, all of us, sometimes we need a little taste of humble pie. I think the administration got a little bit of a reality check in how hard some of the politics is to actually get done in Washington, D.C., and I think that they've regrouped. They're going to redouble their efforts. They're going to be smarter. They're going to be more tactful. And they're going to be more inclusive in terms of their approaches to be able to get through the political hurdles that they've got to get through with their ideas. And be inclusive in terms of maybe sharing some of the credit for a lot of what they're doing. And I'm hoping that eventually, as I call him, Donald Trump's the doctor with a bad bedside manner, to say the least in some cases, but that his genius in terms of so many of the programs that are pro and are positive, to the left and the right, Ivanka's agenda, with all the negative publicity we saw in the last 48 hours about Ivanka's new role as his assistant, her agendas are all what the Democrats want to see in terms of the environment, women, etc.
Have you got any friends in New York on Wall Street? Do you have any friends left? You just said this on national television.
You know what? I am a friend of both sides. Gary Cohen, who really is running the entire economics of this country, who happens to be a very good personal friend of mine, as well as Jared, the two of them that are managing that process are, believe it or not, very strong-leaning Democrats their entire lives. So I believe this is not an administration that, other than the rhetoric, is purely focused on the right, but with time will show that that triumvirate of Ivanka, Jared, and Gary will be a balance to Miller and Bannon on the other side.
You've got a lot to say, but you said it very well. You know, for a financial guy, you do quite well.
Yes.
I think you set me up well. Normally you abuse me.
But
today you gave me a freebie.
So you'll come back?
After today, yes, as long as you don't make up for it, like healthcare.
I'm not going to touch it, I promise you. Hey, Sitt, you're all right, and thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much indeed.